everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today I'm fishing at the Abbotsbury end of Chesil Beach. Walked about a mile from the car park, so past the teeth. A lot of anglers here today. There must be, I don't know, 30-40 cars in the car park. Obviously the equivalent amount of anglers, possibly and more, on the beach. So it was pretty solid from the car park side all the way up to the teeth, and also solid down towards the cottages. So bit of a trek. It's Tuesday the 23rd of September, and it's currently, what is it, 3:30 in the afternoon, just like an hour after low water. Got high tide at 20 to 9 tonight, big tides, about a 3.3 metre tidal difference here at Chesil, so big tide, 13 metres in the Bristol Channel, so hopefully we can pick something up. Well, plenty of mackerel around. I just winded in to change to a rig, and I had 2 undersized mackerel on a loop rig. Took the ragworm. I've also had 2 mackerel on a pop-up, which I'm specifically fishing for mackerel. So, but again, one of those was undersized, one was okay. So plenty of mackerel, and there's a few being caught down towards Abbotsbury, looking down. Legal limit on mackerel 12 inches, so 30 centimetres. So, although whether people put them back when they're undersized, I don't know, but anyway, I do. Other baits, I've got some fresh ragworm from Abbotsbury Angling. I've got frozen peeler, frozen blacks, squid, prawn and mackerel, and some pilchards or sardines, can't remember what they are. So plenty of bait options, but 2 hours in, nothing on the baits, just as I say, four mackerel. So yeah, typical Chesil day. It's very bright. The sea is flattened right off after those strong winds that we had. It's northeasterly now, about 10 mile an hour, and the wind is, well, the sea is flat calm, and there's not a lot of colour in the water. So I think the chances of a cod pretty limited, but we'll see. Rigs, I'm fishing 2 hooks clip rigs with size 1s, and also pulley pennel size 1 or 1.0, and also loop rigs, so mixing them up just to see what sort of combination might work or not, as the case may be. Anyway, plenty of time. As I say, high water 20 to 9. Plan is to fish well into dark and see how we go. it's a fish, but it's a mackerel on the pop-up. The bait fishing is incredibly slow, no bites, nothing. And even the mackerel have sort of stopped showing until this one come along. It's about 2 hours after low water. Fishing a very long up and over, probably about 8 feet, something like that. Just with a couple of big pop-ups and a stop bead, and then a tiny bit of mackerel on a size 1 hook, and that's what's accounting for the mackerel on the pop-ups, the popped up bait. So I've had 3 of those so far, and yeah, that one's probably the biggest. Well, after that mackerel, just winding in to change the bait, I had this tiny little tub gurnard. See the lovely fins on them. Anyway, too small to keep. Let's put him back in. 170 grams of lead. Okay, holding today. So this is a 2-up click rib I'm using. 30-pound snoods, size 1 hooks. What's that? Bit of old prawn and squid. Tiny little black. Going to be a lovely evening. What's it? Just gone 6:10. Still quite warm. That wind's dropped off a little bit, so it's coming over the top of the bank now. I have got my drone, but I'm not going to fly it. There's lots of people around, so I don't want to cheese anybody off by whizzing the drone round. So we'll park that one for one day. But I've got some drone footage of a little trip I did on the North Pembrokeshire coast a few weeks back in August. I'll play a bit of music and I'll put that footage in. This was taken just north of a little village called Good. So got a frozen peeler on a pulley pennel, still using 170 grams of lead, and a 4-foot pulley, size 10 Kamzan hook. Let's put it out there. Still pretty quiet. Story of my life at Chesil. Anyway, let's keep going. Right, still very quiet. 7:15. So about an hour and a half to high water. Gonna have to move actually. Have to move the bivvy back a bit. Wait, some biggest swells are just pushing across the beach. So yeah, and nothing. No bites. Hermit crabs back, not hermit crabs, spider crabs look like they're back in action. So the bait's going back stripped and snoods feel really rough. So anyway, carry on. Plenty more fish in the sea. There, the first whiting of the winter. Not what I was expecting in September. But anyway, it's the fish. Let's put him back in. The dogfish, number 1. It's 8 o'clock. Yeah, coming up to high water, still very quiet. So fourth species of the day: mackerel, tub gurnard, whiting, dogfish. Hopefully we'll get a few more. Let's put him back. Hello. What do you want? I'd like to present to you the best fish I've caught in the last 10 minutes. Look at that. Tiny whiting. Oh well, I'm not hiding behind my finger. Look at that. 20-pound whiting. 2-ounce whiting. Just had a limpy fox walk past. Showed sniffing around, picking up all the scrappy baits. I think I've seen him on YouTube before. He isn't shy. You have to shoo him off if you don't like them, but he's very entertaining. Very not nervous at all, really. So yeah. Anyway, super whiting. Might keep that for bait, and we'll crack on. Oh, here's a conger. I've got a big bait close in on the gutter, and he took a whole sardine. So he's only big. He's only about 1.5 pounds, 2 pound. Anyway, it's a fish. So is it 9:20? It's about half an hour after high water. I had a cracking bite, and it went very slack. And I thought, oh, wonder what that is. And I thought, oh, that's a nice whiting, or would have been a nice whiting. Something decided it liked the look of that, and took off the back end. That's probably £0.5 pound, £0.75 pound whiting, and completely chopped off at the back. There we go. whiting around, which is nice to see. Hopefully have a good season. Yeah, well, a big mouth, whatever that was. Here's a last cast conger, hooked just right in the jaw. Took a piece of squid on a 20-pound trace, intended for something else. He's about 5 or 6 pounds, I think, so a good way to end the session. Another species, another specimen. Look at that. He's about 6 inches long, a little pouting. Just about sums up my day really. Lots of species, no substance. Well, it's 10:30. What's that? About 2 hours after high water. Wind's getting up as well, it's blowing a bit harder now, and I'm losing the motivation. All my ragworm's gone as well, so I've just got scraps of mackerel, squid and bits and bobs using up. So a couple more casts and then I think I'll call it a day. So unless I catch anything substantial, which is highly unlikely, thank you for watching. I don't do a lot of posts at the moment, but try to get out when I can. I hope you've enjoyed it. Not sure, I know Chesil fishes well, but not so good today. Plenty of species, but no real sort of size or any specimens at all. But just nice to be out catching a few things. So thanks for watching, thanks for joining me fishing AT Chesil Beach. And if you like the content, hit the like. If you like to see more videos, then please subscribe. And hope to see you all again soon. Take care now. Bye. Bye.